Hello folks, and welcome to week 2 of Coffee and Cards with Linda's Papercraft, and this month we are in August 2023 and we're using Nature's Prints. And if you've ordered the dies too, then you've got the Natural Prints die. I did warn you if you didn't have the dies that you will be doing some fussy cutting, and today is the day you will be doing some fussy cutting. Basically what I've done with this card is I have stamped on Misty Moonlight and with Night of Navy and then die cut it out, and I'm also going to show you how to do it the other way around, where you die cut and then stamp. So if you are fussy cutting, then you just need to fussy cut the images, and you might want to stick with some of the easier ones, but it's up to you. See how you go on. Okay, so let's get started. So we've got in here, if you haven't got the dies, I have cut you out a best wishes piece for you to stamp on, so the sentiment piece, and you've got a little piece. This is cut out by using the Stylish Shapes dies, and what I've done is I've cut it in half and stuck it either side so you can see, so it looks longer than it is. So you've got a piece of Misty Moonlight, and this is what we're going to be doing our stamping on. We also have a piece of Boho Blue even, and then a DL card, and it came in the DL envelope. Of course, it's too long to go in little paper bags, so you'll have 3 in paper bags and then this one loose. So as I say, there are 2 ways. Oh, the other thing I should say as well, this card was actually inspired by someone called Liz Barrell, who is a lady who does classes near me in Lim, and she does all sorts of different techniques. And this is a card she used different die set and that, but just this sort of stamping and then almost self-coloured against monochrome card. So she designed the first card, and then one of the guys that goes to the class, I can't remember his name. Anyway, he did a blue on blue like this, which I really liked, and then I sort of took it and thought, right, what have I got that I can do to make that card? And this is what we ended up with, so thank you, Liz. And nope, can't remember his name. Really sorry. I will apologise to him when I see him. Right, so I don't think he watches my YouTube videos. Anyway, we'll see. So let's get started. So as I said, there's 2 ways you can do this. You can either stamp and then die cut, or die cut and then stamp, if you have a stamping platform, which I have several. So we're going to do this one on the die and then stamp, or die cut then stamp, and I have everything ready here. So right, so I've already put my stamp onto my stamping press, and I've die cut out the shape, and I've also got the negative. It's important you do need to keep the negative to do this, otherwise you can't line it up. So the first thing I'm going to do is ink up this stamp and stamp it onto my paper that I've cut in here. So I've just cut a piece of paper. Obviously, see, I've used it for other things as well, but I've just cut a piece of paper so I'm not stamping directly onto the plastic sheet underneath. I'm sure it'll wash off because we do use water-based dyes, but let's not. Right, okay, so I'm just stamping that there. Okay, and then I'm going to get my negative. Now I've actually got 2 negatives on here. You can tell the difference whether you've got it the right way up. I'm trying to see on here. I think you can see there's a little rim on this one. There isn't a rim on here because that one I did that way around. Okay, so you can see the rim on that side. So you need to see the little rim sticking out. Just going to get rid of that because I'm not sure it's going to fit. So then what I do is I put the template. To be fair, you can tell, because if it doesn't fit, it's the wrong way up. If you see what I mean, if I did it that way, it wouldn't fit over the image, whereas this way it does. So what I'm doing now is I'm just lining this up so there's an even line all the way around, like that. I'm going to pop my magnets in place. Ooh, she says, there. Then what I'm going to do is take the die cut and pop it in here, and it will stay where it needs to be. Okay, so I'll just flatten that down in there, re-ink my stamp, and stamp. And as you will be able to see in a minute, quite often the stamp will pick up the die. It hasn't done this time. See, beautifully stamped, nicely lined up, without trying to, because the reason I did it with this one is when you're stamping blue on blue, it's quite hard to see the outline of where it needs to go. So you can either do them all like this, cut them all out of your Misty Moonlight and then stamp using your platform, or you can stamp and then die cut. It's up to you. I'll show you that one first and then I'll show you how I stamped. So I'll keep that one there because I will need it. Put that out of the way. Right, so we'll bring this one back. So I need 2 of the grasses, 2 of the flowers, 2 of the leafy ones, and 1 fern. So you have plenty of room on this piece. Okay, so it's as big as the front of the card, so you will have plenty of room. And what I suggest you do, in fact I will show you how to do it to make sure they all get on. So because with the magic of television I've already stamped and die cut all these. So what I would do, because you don't need the whole lot, you do need to leave enough gap between them to die cut. Okay, so I need 2 of these, so I'll do 1 that way and 1 this way. There we go. Okay, clean off my stamp. Fairly clean. Okay, and then I will do 1 of these because I only need 1. So again, I'm coming in fairly close, but not so close, because you do need to have the space between them to die cut. And then we need 2 of the ones that are in my stamping platform. Just pop that out. I did have a block, there it is. So I need 2 of these and then 2 of the little flowers. And you don't need the banner because I've already cut that for you. So I'm just going to pop that there. Put another one over here and hopefully let's put it there. Just hoping I have enough room left for the days. You really should have, because there's a lot of boho blue showing through there, and then with the little flowers. So I'm just going to squeeze 1 in there, she says. Yep. And then 1 in there. Okay, so that's, in fact I could have done them both there, there is enough room. Okay, and I've probably spread them out more than you need to. Right, so either way, whether you've die cut and then stamped or stamped and die cut, stop the video now, nip along and do all your jobs. All these jobs rather. Don't go clean the house or anything, and or anything silly like that. And then I shall just get out my pre-cut ones. Okay, so I'll put that away. And get out my little box of tricks which I've got here. So I've now cut out all of those, and I've stamped and cut out the sentiment as well. And again, the way of doing it with your stamping platform works as well. So just stamp the sentiment, put your negative around it, pop your die cut on top and stamp. Or you can stamp and die cut, it's up to you. So there we go. We've got everything we need now. Just pop that there so I can see what I'm doing. And now we're just going to stick everything on. So I'm going to start by this one here, and it is just going off, and then I put a little bit of that, and then we've got a little flower, almost all of that little flower, and then we'll come in from this side, so we need to pop that. We need the other little flower. If you're being really fancy, you could do some reverse stamping as well, which I think I do have a tutorial somewhere on YouTube for reverse stamping. So we need this one. And how you arrange them really is up to you. Okay, so those are they. And I've got my sentiment. And before I start sticking, I just want to be happy with my sentiment. So I've got my little banner. I shall get my scissors, and I've literally just cut it in half. Okay. Get my glue and put a little bit of glue on that side. And stick that there so it's lining up straight with the sentiment. And then I'll do the same with the other piece. And it's always best with these if you sort of assemble where you want things first, because then you can work out where your gaps are. You can work out if everything fits in, sort of lining them up with each other. Yeah, you might want to do them both at the same time, and then it hasn't dried. Right, okay, but I'm happy with that. So that is going to be going. So as you can see, it's sort of fighting with this a little bit, these two. So I'm just going to drop those down a little bit. And I'm going to glue my sentiment on. And I have glued this flat. You could put it on. Should we put it on dimensionals? Let's put it on dimensionals. Right, I'm sure I got some out. Okay, so one in the middle. And let's put one either side, and I'm just going to add that now, and then work around it with my leaves and flowers. I think I'm going to pop that there. There we go. Okay, so, and I think, yeah, let's just bring that one down a little bit. That one can stand to go up a bit more. That one up a bit more. Okay, and then decide where you're going to start and go for it. So I think I'm going to start in the middle. So pop some glue on there. And pop that down between those two. Okay, now the flower. Make sure you're working on something that you don't mind getting glue onto. Just going to pop some of that off because that's rather a lot on there. Still ended up getting it on my paper. There we go. And then glue to where the stems part. Go, and then so I'm going to get most of that on there actually. Right, so I don't need any glue on that leaf. I'll do all the way up here. Probably didn't need that piece, let's get rid of that. Okay, and then where did that's on? Let's add this. You see, I'd stamped one too many ferns. I mean, these will cut out really, just cut out the outside. You don't need to cut out these little holes here. And if you do want to cut out these ones, particularly that one, then you can just slip between the two leaves. That will be a bit hard to fussy cut. But I know some of you fussy cut using knives, so then it will be really easy. Okay, just, where's that going? That one's going there. Okay, I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of glue just under there so it is stuck down. There we go. And again, this is mostly on. And we just need to leave a little bit of space for that tiny flower to come on at the end. In fact, I think we'll have more space on this one. There we go. I think I've actually put that more that way so that we can fit that little flower on. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that for a second to dry. It hasn't completely stuck down to here, which is nice. And then I'm going to get my new scissors from that big craft shop called Amazon, because unfortunately Stampin' don't do a big pair of scissors. They do gorgeous snips, but I just want to use one of the bigger pairs of scissors just to trim off the edges here. So I'm just going across and trimming off all the stems in line with the bottom of the card. Yeah, I was sneaking in a video while my husband went out and he's back, so we might have a little bit of an interruption in a second when he goes back into his study, which is just off my craft room. Just a tiny smidge hanging off there. Okay. Yeah. But those scissors are super sharp, they're brilliant. Right, and all that remains to do now is to stick this onto the front of the card. So nice and simple. She can find a glue. There it is. Okay, yeah. Rogue piece. Oh, I can hear bins being put out. We should be all right. Right, okay, so that's a nice, actually simple but effective card. Just a little bit of prep work that you need to do with all the flowery bits, all the foliage, that's the word we're looking for. And I do like a nice big long card. I just wish they fit in my paper bag. I have to get some bigger paper bags. There you go. Okay, so there we are. So that's week 2 finished. I hope you're enjoying it. If you have any questions, let me know. And if you like it, don't forget to do your thumbs up. And I shall see you all next week. Bye.